Hey everybody, your pal Donnie Dow here. Today I am on Evansville's east side in the Lincolnwood subdivision. This one's interesting to me. It's one of those that a lot of people drive past and don't turn down. It's really small. There were 11 building lots. I think 7 of them have homes. What's really neat to me, and I'd like any input if anyone has any information on this. So it was platted in 56, and in 63 is when water was brought out here, but none of these homes were built until the 80s. So I'm not really sure what the situation was, but these homes are large, very pretty. A lot of them have kind of a colonial or a Cape Cod type look. Salt box a little bit, like this blue one coming up. This is so pretty to me. One, I just like that kind of a classic architectural style. Goes back hundreds of years, and it's a little bit different than what you see, typically in Evansville. So I think that's neat, and just the little touches too. This little light post coming up in the yard, I think, is really a neat touch. I really think of like, I don't know, the Atlantic coast, those types of buildings and whatnot there, types of home styles. One really interesting thing, though, there is a house here that is just completely out of place. And so I discovered that the reason that is it was never part of this subdivision. It existed before this was built, and so it just wasn't part of it. And you'll see the striking difference here momentarily. Here's another. It's very similar to the style of that blue one, and massive, of course. A lot of these are 4,000 and 5,000 square feet, and they have the price tag that corresponds with that kind of square footage. One thing that I think is really neat too is that when you go back and look at the transfers, so the Crow family owned this area. They platted it out, and then the first lot that was sold was this one coming up here on my left. And the person it was sold to bought a property, or sold a property to an individual who was buying in Inwood. So I guess the owner of this one had a property in Inwood. And then that person had a property in Lorraine Park and sold it to the Crows, the exact same people that developed this. So it's really interesting if like the only way to make the deal work was for the seller of this to buy that other property. I don't know, but it's really interesting, and stuff like that happens. Okay, so coming around here, you'll see this house right here. That one is not part of the subdivision at all. And you can tell, it's got the mansard roof. My guess is this one was probably built in the 50s, maybe 60s. But it wasn't built at the time these others were built. So I do really like it, though. I like a mansard roof. I like the long, low profile that it has, even though it's a 2-story. So, a lot of interesting things with that one. And it kind of presides over the neighborhood, even though, it's not really part of it. Technically, it's not part of it anyway. But yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Quick update on the market. Things are still moving. Listings have slowed just a hair. And we see, try not to get injured on my walks. At any rate, so we're seeing a lot of uptick now. People are back to school, and so that settled down. So, like I said, we're seeing some more listings, some more buyers. Now it's also kind of deal season, in that there aren't as many of the multiple offer situations going on. I mean, there are definitely still some out there, but it's slightly less competitive. So if that's something that gave you anxiety, if you were worried about getting into a bidding situation or something like that, or that's just not the way you like to do things, I would strongly encourage considering it again now that things have changed a little bit. Might be the perfect time for a buyer that feels that way. But other than that, that's about it for today. Like I said, if anyone knows any reason why it took so long to get developed, please tell me. I'd love to know. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. If you know anyone that wants to buy or sell real estate in southern Indiana, please have them contact me. You'll see that once they deal with Donnie, they'll discover that the difference is Donnie. Thanks. See ya.